But I also want to talk about on film, and then all of a sudden things started shifting to digital, and on a set it changed things profoundly, because the preciousness of that time between action and cut, when everybody, the entire crew, it was like this moment of energy, like we might capture magic. You couldn't give direction while camera was rolling, you couldn't, and I'm curious, from each one of you, because I know you're very passionate about film too, just
a little bit.
But how that affects, how that felt like as in terms of like capturing that kind of electricity and magic that comes.
I love that you mentioned that. It's something that not a whole lot of people talk about, and when I first started doing short films in the late 2000s, everybody was shooting digitally, and on those kind of films, low budget films, and the movies I'd grown up with and was able to watch in the 90s, and the movies I was turned on to as I was growing up from the 70s and before were, I always noticed, even when I was a kid, the disparity between TV look and cinema look. And
it's even personally, this is my opinion, and I think there's probably a lot of people that would disagree with me, but it requires a different lighting technique, which has also changed. A lot of the lighting technology has really fallen towards LED lighting, which a lot of it's great, but ultimately you can summarize it as being really convenient. It's about being convenient, and when you go and see a movie and you go and see a story about somebody, I mean, you go to these extreme locations and you see the extremity, really, of the hero's journey, and there's nothing convenient about that, right?
What I appreciated the most about it was the fact that every shot was so planned, that there was no overshooting, that we weren't getting bonus things just because. And if we had it, we had it, and then we moved on. And I think that especially for a movie like this, I think we would have all died by week 2 if we were just shooting bonus footage. And it was with this challenge, and notably because a lot of the scenes are incredibly long. And there's one particular scene in which, I don't know how long the scene was, but it was definitely longer than any of the mags we had. And we had to shoot, it's the icebox scene. We had to shoot the first half of the scene. We would have a rollout, and then we would start at the beginning of the scene and just keep going until the point where we had the rollout. You guys would start the cameras, and we would just truck on through to the end. And then, so we basically were doing the scene double the amount of times. But it was kind of magical. There was something so rarefied about that experience. And yeah, I don't know. I definitely fell in love with it.
Will, I have another character question without, we all have witnessed what we just witnessed, but we can't talk about it exactly.
A lot of phones in the audience.
It's very difficult.
We're being careful. We're being careful.
Just for, and on that note, as a side thing, because I know that I think it's partly my job to say this, but that part of the whole exciting thing about Will, I have